And now our third story out front, Al Gore's massive payday. So the former VP has sold a company called Current TV to the Arabic news network Al Jazeera. And the price tag, $500 million, $500 million. According to the New York Times, the deal will give Al Gore, who owned 20% of Current TV, Al Gore personally, you can do the math, $100 million payout. Now, Gore co-founded the company in 2005 with entrepreneur Joel Hyatt. It has struggled with viewership. Brian Stelter is a media reporter for the New York Times. He's got the inside story tonight. And there's so many parts of this that I find amazing, ironic, fascinating. But obviously, the deal has drawn some criticism. Let's start first with the fact that Al Gore, winner of the Nobel Peace Prize, former vice president, known as an environmental guy, sold his company to Al Jazeera, which is, of course, owned by the government of Qatar. A government
built on oil wealth. Yes.
Built on oil wealth, so that's the green problem. And also a country that has been shown to have links to funding hardline Islamists in Syria and al-Qaeda. Why would he do such a deal?
And of course, Al Jazeera is, in some minds of some people, still known best for being a conduit for messages from Osama bin Laden many years ago.
Right.
I think he did the deal because it was the best option he had. He wanted to sell this channel, wanted to get it off his hands after nearly 8 years of getting almost nowhere with it. Really, in some cases, its audience actually declined over time, and that never happens in TV. But we saw him several months ago come out and say, I want to sell it, I'm not sure to who. And I think at the end of the day, this was the best option he had, by far probably the highest price tag. It's pretty clear that Al Jazeera overpaid because for them it was worth it. Right,
now let's talk about whether they overpaid, because they wanted to get access into the U.S. market. They've tried before. So Current's in 40 million homes, and they're paying for those homes. The minute the deal's announced, Time Warner Cable says, hey, look, we're not going to air Current anymore, so they lose some homes. And obviously that's what the price tag was based on. So what's going to happen here? I mean, is this going to be a colossal failure, or can they climb back?
It's going to require more than $500 million over time. They do have now these homes to start with, and homes like DirecTV, Comcast. They've got a decent amount of the country, but not nearly all of it. Now they're going to have to go to other distributors, try to get better carriage for Al Jazeera, and I think they're going to have to spend a lot of money on marketing and promotion and talent for the channel, because if they want to compete with the likes of CNN and the BBC and other international news brands in America, they're going to have to invest a lot more money.
All right, so first there was the irony about the oil wealth, and there's the irony about the government that also funds other things. And then there's the third irony, which is Al Gore, big Democrat, right, wants to get this deal done on December 31st. That's what you report, and there's a reason for that, right?
New Year's Eve, because the tax rates were lower. The tax rates went up on New Year's Day. They were desperate to get the deal done by New Year's Eve. In fact, they even told the distributors whose arms they were twisting that they wanted to get it done by then. Unfortunately, they didn't. Unfortunately for Al Gore, they didn't. It got done on Wednesday instead. It's unclear how much more he had to pay in taxes, but we're probably talking about a significant chunk of change.
Yeah, and I was just like kind of ballparking the numbers, but it could be somewhere $8–9 million. It's a lot. And I guess funny how it is, Al Gore, right? When he wanted to avoid the taxes. But why didn't it happen? I mean, if he wanted it done that badly on that day, and then it's done the day after, was there some sort of a hiccup or a problem? Or
they haven't let us in. They haven't let us figure it out. And unfortunately, these guys aren't giving interviews. I've been kind of surprised by the lack of access we've had into these companies to figure out what's going on. Maybe that's because it leaked out before they were ready to talk about it. Maybe that's because they haven't decided what to do with the current staff members. There's hundreds of staff members who are probably going to be laid off from this channel, and hosts like Elliot Spitzer, Jennifer Granholm, Joy Behar. We're not sure what's going to happen to them. Maybe we'll find out next week when they hold staff meetings. But it's a very strange way to see this channel sort of sputter off after so many years.
Well, there's one thing I know. Al Gore is a richer man.
He is.
All right, thanks very much, Brian Stelter.
Thanks.
And still